Hi, my name is Roger Fothergill. I should be in East Africa at the moment, sharing the wonderful gospel stories of Jesus with folks in little mud hut churches. I can't be there for obvious reasons of the pandemic, so I'm here at home, and I thought I would share them with you on YouTube. The one I'd like to share with you at the moment is a wonderful chapter. It's Mark chapter 5. And the first part of it is Jesus goes to the other side of the lake and heals a demoniac. Now, I'll leave that for another occasion, but halfway through the chapter, he goes back to the other side of the lake, and a man there called Jairus, he's a synagogue ruler, he comes to meet Jesus, and he falls at his feet again. Like so many people in the Gospels, they recognize Jesus as Lord of Lords and King of Kings. And Jairus falls at his feet. Don't forget, Jairus is a very important person. He's the leader of the synagogue. He's the big shot there, but he still comes and falls at Jesus' feet. And he says to Jesus, "My little daughter is dying. Please come and heal her." Jairus calls his daughter my little daughter. Isn't that lovely? She actually wasn't that little. She was 12 years old. It just shows the affection that this young lady had in her father's eyes. So Jesus goes with him, and there's a big crowd there. And there's a woman in the crowd who suffered from bleeding for about 12 years. And she shouldn't really be there, because in the Leviticus law it said that people with discharges and that kind of problem should stay well outside, stay at home, just like we're staying at home at the moment. And she should stay there. But she wants definitely an answer to her problem, and she knows that Jesus can heal her. But she can't come to Jesus out in the open and simply say, "Look, Jesus, can you heal me?" That would have been disaster. So what she figures out is, if she goes quietly up to Jesus in the crowd, she touches his cloak, she knows she's going to be healed. So she does that. She creeps in amongst the crowd and goes up to Jesus, just touches his coat, and it says that she immediately felt in her body that she was well again in her body. She immediately felt that. Isn't that wonderful? She found healing by touching Jesus' coat. Jesus, on the other hand, he suddenly realized that healing power has gone out from him. And he says to those around him, who touched my coat? Who touched me? And the disciples sort of look at Jesus with an open mouth and say, "Well, look, Jesus, you're in a huge, great crowd here. How can you ask a question like that?" And Jesus carries on. He says, No. Somebody touched me. I could feel healing power going out from me. Somebody definitely touched me. And so eventually the woman realizes she cannot just stay hidden, and she comes out and falls at Jesus' feet again, falls at his feet, and just tells him the whole story. And Jesus says to her, "Your faith has made you well." And Jesus, every time he uses the word faith, it's faith in him. Faith always has to have an object. Your faith is in somebody or something. And in the Bible, faith has got a capital F, if you like. It's trusting in God, trusting in his promises, standing on his promises. That's what faith is. It's standing on the promises of God. So her faith in Jesus is what has healed her. And he says to her, "Daughter, go in peace." Isn't that beautiful? Daughter, go in peace. Calls her daughter. Now, can you just imagine what's going through Jairus' mind at the moment? He's going absolutely demented. Jesus spending all this time with this lady and whatnot. Come on, Jesus, my daughter is dying. Hello? And then some people come from Jairus' house and say, "Look, there's no point in disturbing the teacher anymore, because your daughter has died." And can you imagine what Jairus' heart is doing? But Jesus here, he captures the moment again, as he so often does. And I can almost imagine Jesus just touching him on the shoulder, and he says, Jairus, just chill out here. Just believe me. Just trust in me. All will be well. And you know, very often in situations we can be at our desperate wit's end. And Jesus is saying to her, just chill. Just trust me. So they go towards the house, and when they get there, there's all sorts of a funeral party going on. People are wailing and crying and all the rest of it. And then Jesus has to get these people out of the situation. And whenever Jesus was surrounded by unbelief in what he could do, he had to kick them out. And he said to the people, he said, she's not asleep. She's not dead. She's only asleep. And of course, they laughed at him. Now, to laugh at Jesus, the Son of God, that's not a good plan. He can achieve anything he wants to achieve. So he gets these people out, gets the unbelief out of the situation. And then he goes into the room with just Peter, James, and John, and also the girl's parents, just to prove to the girl's parents there's no funny witchcraft going on here or anything evil. Not at all. He just goes in and he says to the little girl, Talitha cumi, which means, little girl, I say to you, arise. And she got up then. And then Jesus says something which just shows the practical side of our Saviour. He says to the parents, give her something to eat. And you can just imagine the parents are so excited about having their daughter healed. They've completely forgotten about the fact that she's probably had 3 or 4 days of fever, hasn't eaten a thing, and she's starving. They're more concerned to tell the neighbours and the relatives and everybody that the daughter is healed. So Jesus says to her, give her something to eat because she needs it. I think that's one of those fabulous passages in the Bible, of which there are thousands, to get us encouraged about the Lord again. Okay, more next time. Hope you're okay. Bless you. Bye-bye.